Hello, welcome to Lady Applejack Speaks a VA channel here on YouTube that focuses on the Netflix series Stranger Things. Yes, it's technically, in my opinion, it's still technically Thirst Trap Thursday, even though it's past midnight. Um, I have a second video, obviously. That's why I'm here. And this is actually for Series 2, Why Can't This Be Love? Where we follow the storyline of Eddie Munson and Liz Hargrove. And as you guys remember, Liz Hargrove is the baby biological sister of Billy Hargrove. And this is going to be episode 19. And this episode's going to be a little bit different. The reason why I say it's going to be a little bit different is there's actually two different dates. I know I usually preface and tell you guys the dates of each of these episodes. However, the dates are going to remain a mystery until we get to the part where I introduce the dates. And hopefully you'll understand why. Anyways, yes, so this is episode 19, and I need your guys' assistance here. I don't know where to take this series now. I feel like the series can continue. I just don't know where exactly it should continue to. So, after you guys watch this or listen to this, if you guys could just let me know what your guys' thoughts are about it, like where you'd like to see this go, if you want to see it as a continuation or a series of flashbacks and then a continuation. We can always flash back to the very early stages of Eddie and Liz's relationship, or we can continue on, whichever. I need some advice. I don't know what to do with it, so I think you guys will understand why I say that as soon as I get the episode out to you. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So the episode is rated PG-13 for strong language. There is brief mentions of physical abuse, but nothing else. And the episode is going to be told in Eddie's point of view, and basically it's his narrative, so you could think of it as a fourth wall, or you could think of it as internal dialogue that he has in his head, whichever you prefer. And the episode title is If I Can Turn Back Time. Let that sink in a little bit. All right, you guys, let's start this episode. Eddie's point of view. What's going? Wait. I'm not dead. I should be in the upside down. I should be dead, right? I was badly injured. How is this even possible? Instead of being in the upside down, where I distinctly remember having Liz there with me, my head in her lap, instead of that, I'm sitting in the van and I'm outside the Hargrove residence. And when we went to the upside down, it was January. There was snow and ice and everything. Everything in Hawkins was dead. But as I'm sitting in the van right now, there's no snow on the ground. Just crisp autumn leaves. I looked down at my watch and my hands began to tremble. It's 5:32 a.m. on October 13th, 1985. October 13th, 1985. This would be the night that I break up with Liz Hargrove. I mean, it's the morning right now. I would be going to school later today. If I follow back in my memory, I'd be going to school later today. The Hargrove kids would not be there. Max would not be there. I would go to the shop later that day and Neil would come. He would come threaten me. He would hold a gun to my head as I broke up with his daughter over the phone. It hasn't happened. Oh my God, I can stop this. I could stop it. I could protect her. I remember her kissing me, breathing into me, like Alina the Fair. She gave me oh my God. How is this possible? She gave me the breath of the goddess spell? She turned back time. She unknowingly is giving me a second chance. I look in the driveway and Billy's Camaro is parked out front. Neil's truck, however, is gone. Neil and Susan had left for work. Liz has told me multiple times, I mean, when I would stay with her, that I had to be gone by 4:30 because they normally left for work around 5. They're gone. It's now or never. I jump out of my van and I run toward the house, flying up the porch steps toward the front door. Oh, fuck. Billy. Oh, it's literally the first time I'm relieved to see Billy, who I always thought was just a creep. Billy, Liz. I know. Eddie, you need to get her out of here tonight. He beat her bad, Eddie. But he was about to do something much worse. I was able to stop him, but you got to get her out of here. I shiver, knowing now what worse meant to Billy and to Liz. I push past Billy and briefly nod toward Max, who's standing by silently. I quickly rush down the hall to Liz's bedroom, the door ajar from what I guess was Max and Billy checking on her throughout the night. I go inside the room and she's curled up on the bed, her tired eyes meeting mine. I wince as I see the bruises on her face and on her arms. I try to gain my composure as I see how badly he had hurt her. I took a deep breath to calm myself before going over to her closet and grabbing her suitcases. I open them and fill them as fast as I can with all of her clothing and anything vital that she may need. Liz, Baby, I'm going to get you out of here. I know what he's been doing to you, and it it ends now. Eddie, no, no, he'll kill you. No, no, we can't. Lucetta, Renee Hargrove, I'm not leaving you here. I'm not letting him. I won't let him hurt you anymore. Do you understand me? I'm not losing you again. What are you talking about? Losing me? Baby, I just need you to trust me, okay? Well, where will we go? I'll figure it out. In the meantime, get whatever you need together, okay? We get her entire life packed in 2 suitcases. Billy and Max help me carry her things out to my van as I carry her out. Her whimpers make me wince as I slightly pick her up very gingerly from her bed and carry her out to the van. I place her carefully in the passenger seat, buckling her in and covering her up with a clean blanket from my stash in the van. I kiss her cheek softly, relishing in her soft skin and the faint smell of her juniper perfume. I whisper softly against her cheek. This ends here. I'm not running this time, Liz. We're going to get far away from here, where he will never, ever hurt you again. Eddie, shh, nothing you can say will ever change my mind. I love you. I close the passenger door and look toward Max and Billy. Max looks down at her closed hand, opening it up slightly to reveal the handful of Special K that had slipped to her before carrying Liz out of the house. I nod my head toward them. Crush them up. All of them. Put them in his drink as soon as he gets home. He won't be able to taste them. That should be enough to, you know. I pull Max into a hug, grateful for her. Before I get in the van, Billy holds out his hand, a peace offering. I shake it. Eddie, just take care of her, all right? And as soon as you guys figure out where you're going, please reach out so I know she's safe. I will. I get inside the van and start the engine, hitting the gas. I pull away from Cherry Lane and head toward the first exit leading us out of Hawkins, Indiana. Eddie's point of view, 2 years later, May 31st, 1987. Walter Payne College Preparatory High School graduation. Okay, baby doll. Hey, look at me. Smile big for me, all right? Come on, Liz Snack Cake. You just graduated. You're acting like you're going off to prison or something. it's, it's not really that big of a deal. I just graduated from high school. Are you kidding? You only graduate from high school once, Liz Munson. I smile as she blushes, hearing her newly appointed last name. We had just gotten married 2 weeks ago. Shortly after finding out about Neil Hargrove's death. News travels very slow here, obviously, but the night that we left, Neil died of a self-induced drug overdose, or what many assume was self-induced. He died the night after his daughter Lisetta had run off with the Munson boy. The word on the street was that he was ashamed of his daughter's sins and took his own life. A self-inflicted punishment for being a lousy father. It took time for us to hear about this because they had to do an investigation, obviously, and Hopper really wasn't a fan of Hargrove. He was one of the few that did not fucking care for him. Once Hopper said the word that it was an accident, nobody questioned it. And it was good riddance to bad rubbish. After that night, Liz and I made a run for it, leaving for Chicago. It wasn't easy. Between the two of us, we barely had 2 nickels to rub together. But by some sort of magic, we made it. I worked on getting my GED, which Liz, God bless her, she was a huge help in that department. She would help me study at night for the tests while I worked days at the local garage. I lucked out with the job. A friend in my circle of metalhead friends had referred me to the owner, an old Italian man by the name of Sal. Not only did Sal give me a job, he also gave us a place to live. It was a modest loft apartment right above the shop, so I can't really be late for work. It wasn't the Ritz by any means, but it was a place to call home. A place where Liz could finally feel safe. It took time for Liz to recover. She ended up taking a few weeks to recover from the attack, but she bounced back, just as I expected. We ended up getting her enrolled at Walter Payne College Preparatory High School. This was with the help of Sal's wife, Louisa. She acted as Liz's guardian. And yeah, Liz managed to work her magic, and all puns intended, got into a very, very prestigious program, and yeah, it finally paid off. In the meantime, despite my reservations, Liz also ended up picking up a job as a receptionist in the garage, which selfishly, it was kind of nice working alongside her. Liz decided just recently that she wanted to go into social work, mainly because of her own experience with her abusive father. And based on her grades at the preparatory school, she was able to get basically a full ride at UC. I'm beyond proud of her. As promised, Billy keeps in touch with her, mostly calling her at night to check in. They also reconnected with their mother, who is now living in Albuquerque. They obviously have a lot to repair in terms of their relationship. but they're taking it one day at a time. I am so proud of you, Snack Cake. I couldn't have done it without you. That's not true. Not true at all. This was all you. Can we go home? I just want to spend my first night as a high school graduate with my husband. Of course we could do that. Let's go. We get in the van as soon as Liz takes off her cap and gown, tossing it in the back. She smiles at me as she rests her hand on the stick shift, waiting patiently. I grin back and rest my hand on top of hers. That's Liz. Do you ever regret me, doing the breath of the goddess spell on you? You mean giving us a do-over? Yeah, I mean, you wanted to graduate so badly from Hawkins, like to make a point, and you wanted to take Kuroda Coffin to the next level, but I feel like I took that away from you in a way. Lucetta Renee Munson. I would give up anything, including my very life, to have you. Always. It's not even giving anything up. It's upgrading. As for Kuroda Coffin, the band is still sticking together. The rest of the guys are moving here in the next month, and we plan on making our rounds with the labels in town. About that, I may have pulled a few tricks from my sleeve, with my newfound powers, So, don't be surprised if we get a very important visitor on our doorstep tonight. You didn't. I should put my new skills to some good use. Besides waking up my prince with true love's kiss and the ability to turn back time. Liz Munson, you simply bewitch me. I hope to keep doing so for however long that we may have. Now, come on, let's get home. I need to make an impressive dinner for our guests so my husband can finally get signed by a good label and become a rock star. I laugh and start the van, heading out of the school parking lot and heading straight toward home, to our home. There are some things, after all, that Sally Owens knows for certain. Always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder. Keep rosemary by your garden gate. Add pepper to your mashed potatoes. Plant roses and lavender for luck. And fall in love whenever you can. Alice Hoffman, Practical Magic.
Those fingers in my hair that slide come hither stare, that strips my conscience bare, it's witchcraft. And I've got no defense for it, the heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. It's witchcraft, that crazy witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one that I'd never switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you.